What's up, everyone? Schneike's back with another day and another day's worth of predictions. I am going to call right now the third match, what I believe is going to be Shield versus Orton, Show, and Sheamus. I was kind of on the fence. I was going to put this maybe a little later down the line, but I thought it's going to get crowded with a lot of matches that people are going to want to stay glued to their seats for, and this is another one of those matches, so you can't have too many of those matches because you need bathroom breaks. They don't want people to get up during an Undertaker match or a Rock match, so let's do this one early and then put some of the fillers spread throughout the pay-per-view. So after we started off with the World Heavyweight Championship match, in my opinion, everybody's watching that one. Then while everybody else is still maybe even filing in, getting comfortable, getting situated with the Fandango Jericho match. And now I think we're at the third match. The third match being the 6-man tag match. What I think, now we're going to get into the meat of the matter. The shoulda, woulda, coulda of WrestleMania 29 for this match. What I think should happen is Shield wins clean. Done. Period. Shield wins clean. It has to happen. That's come on, it has to happen. What I think the WWE would do is Shields wins clean, but it's only after the Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show fall apart. But you know what? I mean wins clean because they're not like cheating. They're not using a weapon. They're not pulling tights. But in what I think should happen is they should win clean without the team falling apart and maybe have them argue and bicker after the match versus they start falling apart before the match is even done and like two of them go off and start bitching and moaning, leaving the third one to be devoured by the three guys. So that's the difference between what I think should happen and what I think would happen come Sunday at WrestleMania. But, what they could do, the stretch, is Orton gets frustrated and then, DQs their team or, and fights with most likely Sheamus. The thing is, Orton's been preaching for a heel turn for, ever. And everybody sees it coming, and this is the opportunity. They've been on a losing streak. They've been getting their asses handed to them. They are shuffling around these teams, and it's always been Orton, Sheamus, and whoever else. And they constantly getting their asses handed to them. And finally, Orton's like, you know what? The third person isn't the weak link here. It's you, Sheamus. And then they're just going to go at it. That's what I think could happen. Whether he gets frustrated and, screws his team over by, I'm going to get a chair and starts hitting people with chairs and they get DQ'd, which would suck because I'd rather see the Shield win. Or maybe he gets frustrated and they just, instead of just getting distracted between Sheamus and Orton bickering, they actually go all-out brawl. That's something that could happen. They might not even wait till later on because you gotta expect if Orton's gonna turn, he's gonna turn on his team obviously, and he's gonna start a beef with one of them. And Big Show's kind of on the fence. Is he a face? Is he a heel? Is he at that point in his career where it doesn't really matter because he's the Big Show, doesn't need alliances? He's Big Show. Come on, big man. But Sheamus, he's as face as they get. At his point, he's not gonna get more face. If anything, he's gonna get less face. But Orton's been boring as heck as a face, so he's obviously gonna change him before Sheamus. And regardless of which one of those guys changes, they're gonna go at each other's throats. So that's what I think could happen. They're just gonna start fighting right off the bat, or get DQ'd, but then start fighting right off the bat. Either way, they're gonna be fighting, and Orton's not gonna get out of WrestleMania. Or at least the Raw the next day, the same. He's gonna flip, which is great because he needs it. He's kind of borderline boring anyways as a heel, but at least as a heel, heels can be boring. Heels can be methodical and they move all slow and then their pacing is so much slower than high paced John Cena frantic punches. Orton's moveset is better for a heel when he's slow and stomping on the limbs and all that crap, and he's hunting and all coiled up, ready to strike. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy, nothing fast about that, and that's perfect for him as a heel. So that's what I think would happen. But in my opinion, the best thing, absolute best thing you can see is Shield winning clean. And I say this because teams need to be stronger than individuals. That should be a fact in life, of professional wrestling. If you have a tag team, a stable of 2, 3, 4 guys, whatever, if they are a team, if they drive in the same car across country to all these venues, if they sleep in the same hotel room, if they're always together, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they should be a stronger unit than 3 guys who only see each other when they walk into the locker room. They have their match, and then they part ways. There's no camaraderie in that. That is just, they're allies, but they're not teammates. They don't have the bond that a stable should have. All the greatest teams are either like brothers or, they claim to be brothers, like Road Warriors. They're damn near brothers. I actually didn't know they weren't brothers until I figured it out when I grew up or something. It's like Team 3D or whatever, Dudley Boys, they always claim to be brothers. Matt and Jeff Hardy are brothers. Edge and Christian were brothers in storyline. Harlem Heat was Booker T and his brother. It's the families and the tight-knit close friends are the best teams. And if you get 3 guys, 3 individuals, they can't live up to that. Just look at John Cena every time he won his tag team belt. He was partnered with somebody he doesn't team up with ever. He hates, he was in a feud with. And, of course, it diminished the tag team belts. It's because teams are what makes tag team divisions better, not individuals. So that's why I think they should lose, because they're individuals. Individuals bicker, they have arguments, they're not on the same page, they're different goals, different agendas, and Shield has one goal, one agenda. They're on camera together. It's so good to see a good team in a WWE world that doesn't cater to the tag team division anymore. Even though they tried a revival, they basically spat on that and rubbed it in our faces. And now they got something going, at least with these guys, which is amazing. But, that also begs the question, what are they going to do afterwards? If Sheamus and Orton are going to go at each other, then where do we go from there? They'll have their feud, which is great. They need it. You're left with Big Show and Shield, and no one can stop Shield. Honestly, I think Shield should now, because they are a team, they should say, hey, you know what? It's time we start aiming at something to really make a statement, like the tag team division. I think Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they're the closest in terms of style and body shape and blah blah blah. They should be the team to take on, I don't know, Hell No or whoever's going to win with the belts. They should move on to that. They should dominate the tag team division. While Reigns, he can take on the last member of the Orton, Shield, Sheamus, and he can take on Big Show. Maybe that's it. Maybe Big Show's left alone because Orton and Sheamus are bickering, they're arguing, whatever, they're fighting, who knows. And then, of course, they get the triple powerbomb on Big Show. Big Show shouldn't take lightly to somebody who can powerbomb him. He gets offended, and boom, there you go. You get your Reigns versus Big Show, which should last until Orton and Sheamus are finished, and then Reigns moves on to Sheamus, because there was supposed to be a beef between him and Sheamus. So that's what I think should happen. I think Shield should win, and then they can move on. Win clean. Clean, exclamation point. What I think would happen is Orton, Sheamus, and Show start falling apart before the match is over, and then Shield capitalizes and takes over and wins. But what could happen is Orton just flat out DQs. He gets frustrated, he starts whipping everybody with a chair or something, or him and Sheamus completely go at each other's throats, and either way, Shield wins. Shield wins, bottom line, done. What do you guys think? Should Shield take this one? Should Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show take this one? Is it time finally somebody stop the Shield? Or what? What else could happen? Should something be saved for Monday? You let me know. You let me know in the comments below. And till then, I'm Schnikes. Don't forget to like this. Don't forget to, like I said, comment. And subscribe if you haven't. Come back for my other prediction matches. Watch the previous two. And until then, I'm out. Thank you.